The MAGA civil war over H-1B visas revealed some very rare cracks in the alliance between the super rich and the loudest voices from Donald Trump's nativist base. Billionaire Elon Musk and mega millionaire Vivek Ramaswamy defended the foreign worker visas, while Breitbart News and Trump White House veteran Steve Bannon called H-1Bs a total scam.
We're going to get HB1 visas out, root and stem, and all the workers you brought in. We want them all. Just like we're deporting 15 million here, we want them deported out and give those jobs to American citizens today. And we demand they get reparations. You stole from them. You stole their lives from them.
You want reparations, do you? Okay. Joining me now is David Corn, Washington bureau chief for Mother Jones and MSNBC political analyst. David, we've been doing this a long time, my friend. But we have lived to see the day when the same crowd that's been telling particularly young American men that college is trash, that it's woke garbage full of DEI and affirmative action, that you should forget about college, are now mad that they aren't getting the jobs requiring a college degree that H-1B visa people are coming in and taking and getting paid lower money to work in Silicon Valley, jobs that working class Trump supporters would never get. Where do we go? They want them deported along with the farm workers, right?
Right. And, it's even bigger than that. Trump, Steve Bannon, MAGA, for years they've been attacking the elites. They say they're the populists, that the corporations are too woke, and that people don't care about folks in Ohio when trains go off the rails. And yet, who is Trump putting in his cabinet? Almost a dozen cabinet and high-level positions, billionaires. What's more elite than being a billionaire? And these guys are coming in there and they want to eviscerate government. Why do they want to eviscerate government? Because government is really the only check we have on the power and influence of billionaires and big transnational corporations. Just a few years ago, everyone was mad that Washington, D.C. didn't do enough about the safety of trains when the train derailed in Palestine, Ohio. Well, here comes in Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk, the big billionaires who want to cut, a third of the federal government away. They're not there to make the government run better, to do better with train safety, or to oversee crypto or financial crimes, or to enforce labor regulations, workplace safety regulations. No. So the billionaires are being put in there who are there to protect their own interests, but to basically weaken government so the people out there, consumers, citizens, people who eat food, for instance, a pretty large group in America, they are going to have less influence and less power in the face of these giant corporations and billionaires.
The thing that's so, sort of perfect, right? The Southern strategy that Kevin Phillips launched in 1968 was to get white working class, essentially Democrats, to switch parties by saying, don't focus on what we're doing, focus on blacks, focus on civil rights. You've now had this era, really from Rush Limbaugh on. Here's Rush Limbaugh getting the Medal of Freedom from Trump, Melania handing it to him. He and right-wing media really have trained conservative working class people to believe that the rich deserve all the things they get. But mostly what the rich get are government subsidies, government welfare for the rich. Well, if you try to give working class people anything, it's called welfare and called, socialism and derided. But Steve Bannon can say, we want reparations. But if black people say reparations, that's like a dirty word. You might as well have dropped an F-bomb. It is so weird now, the weird alliances. Bernie Sanders and Steve Bannon agree on getting rid of H-1B visas. I feel like there are some cracks that are scrambling these alliances. Do you?
Slightly. The far right, the populist right, has often been somewhat skeptical of corporate power, but as has, the left and liberals and even centrists. But yet what you have under Trump is Trump bringing in these people on culture war issues, talking about the border and crime and trans issues. And he's, this is part of the 68, Southern strategy. Focus on culture war issues. Do not let particularly working class voters see the Democrats as doing anything for them. So when Joe Biden and Barack Obama provide broadband to rural areas. You and I don't need it living in the Washington, D.C. area, but they provide broadband to places like West Virginia and Idaho, and the people out there benefit from it. And what do? Maybe they watch Fox News on broadband and think that the people who are doing this are elitists who they should be voting against and voting for the billionaire party. And it's not just that this is a party government of billionaires, it's a government for billionaires. And that's what we're going to see. And I think we'll see some of these conflicts come up, but as long as the Republicans are a personality cult, that will stay under wraps.
Yeah. And that's why they're a personality cult. Because if you can get people just focus on loving Trump and worshiping Trump, they won't notice that you're robbing them. But y'all, folks, if you have a Fox News friend, tell them these billionaires are not here to help you. They're here to rob you. They're here to take all the money. They're getting government subsidies and welfare from you, the taxpayer. They don't give a damn whether you have a job or any money or can afford food or housing. Trust me, they do not care. And they about to run your government. David Corn, my friend, thank you very, very much. Y'all wake up. Stop letting these billionaires lie to you. Dang.